Okay, so you can see we use some of the Sika Flex self-leveling with caulk. It works good, except it just is self-leveling, so it has to be on perfectly level ground. We put tape on both sides just so we don't make a mess, and it's going to want to naturally level. Now it's still wet. It's been about a day, but it's formed a skin, but underneath it's still flexible. And then we also we put the foam in between to fill up the space, but it floats because it's lighter than the liquid. So we had to use some little pegs to keep it in until it cured, and then we'll put it in. Here you can see we use one of these little pegs to keep the foam in to the ground to do it. So you can pull it up now, and then we'll go back. So you can see it pulls out, but the foam squishes back down, and then it'll settle back in. There it goes. And then we'll put a fine coat over it to make it nice and smooth once we get a final coat. But it is self-leveling, so if you have anything that's on a slight of an angle, it's not going to work. So you have to use the construction polyurethane sealant to do it, which will be able to be non-sag, so you can put on an angle. I'll show you in a minute. So you can see here we used the foam, we put it in there, but we have such a gap, so we had to put a layer in, let it seal overnight, and then we'll put some more in and fill back. And it's going to be self-leveling, so it's going to come right up to the level here. Anything that stuff touches, it does permanently adhere to. So if you don't put tape down, it's not going to come up, so you're going to have a mess. So make sure you put tape down so you got some edges here. And then you'll see anything that is not level, though, is going to want to run and pool, and like it did here. So you got to come back with the non-sag stuff so that you can get a smooth surface. We'll come back, we'll cut this out with a knife, and then we'll put a smooth coat over it and then fill it in, make it look all even. For about 15 minutes, and then we pulled up the tape, and we wanted to do it while it's still tacky, so that we cut a nice straight edge here as we lifted it. And then that'll keep it so that you get a nice finished look, yet didn't get the sealant all over the place. And we'll just pull it all the way up, and that's it. Don't touch it now for 24 hours, and it should be good. Don't put the dish soap where you have to put the polyurethane sealant still, because it's not going to stick. Once you put the soap down, it basically prevents it from sticking to anything. Okay, so if you see here, we removed our tape now, and we got just a nice smooth edge as we go along here. And we'll just wait for it to completely cure. It takes about 7 days to fully cure, but now we got a nice line. We just can push it around with our dish soap. We use Dawn dish soap to make it nice and smooth, and it prevents it from sticking to your glove if you're wearing a rubber glove or your finger. And then you can also put it on your tools, like your putty knife or anything else like that, and you just can push it around and it makes it smooth. Like this, see how I can do that? And it just gets rid of all the bumps. You gotta do it while it's still wet, so probably within the first hour of actually applying it on the surface, and then you can just make it smooth. So you can see here, after we used the tape and taken the tape over, we were able to leave a nice straight fine line, and you're able to smooth it very well with the dish soap so it doesn't stick to your gloves or anything. And after about 24 hours, it cures, makes a nice smooth surface. And then you can see we just put the drains in and it fits all the way down.